It's finally time to upgrade our miter saw station to something that better fits our workshop environment and needs. We have the design ready, which should work well. However, there are still a few things we simply cannot predict. Will the new dust collection system actually work? And will the larger station make the workshop feel more efficient or simply take up more space? The only way to find out is by starting work on the project and facing the challenges along the way. Since we designed the station in the last video, we can get right to work and prepare the plywood for the CNC operations. This time we are using white laminated plywood for the main body of the miter saw station and a regular birch plywood for the accent pieces. One of the goals with this upgrade is making the station feel like it actually belongs in the workshop. The white panels match the workbench and the modular cabinet system, while the red accents tie into the French cleat accessories. With this many components, staying organized becomes almost as important as machining them. Labeling every sheet beforehand keeps the process moving and helps avoid mistakes once everything starts looking the same. Most of the parts were straightforward to machine. The larger miter saw cabinet walls, however, are simply bigger than my CNC machine can handle in one piece. Instead of changing the design, I relied on tiling approach once again. It's one of those techniques that becomes surprisingly valuable over the years, allowing a relatively small CNC machine to build projects much larger than its working area. Sometimes capability isn't about having bigger machines. It's about finding better ways to use the ones you already have. At this point, we have all the parts made. However, the edges of the laminated plywood are extremely sharp. So rounding them over before assembly will make the station much nicer to work with. The angled station cabinets also required chamfering the wall component edges, giving the router table another chance to prove why building it into the workbench was such a worthwhile upgrade. One workshop improvement keeps making the next one a little easier. Now comes the part I've been most curious about. The dust collection box is the entire reason this station exists. On paper, the idea makes sense, but until everything is assembled and tested, I have no idea whether it will work as intended, or simply become a very complicated plywood box. And this is exactly the part we are building now. The dust hopper needed a few custom fitted pieces, and that's where the sliding bevel becomes surprisingly useful. It's not a tool I reach for very often, but when you need it, nothing else really replaces it. By the way, the CNC files for the sliding bevel are available for free on our website, if you would like to build one yourself. The CNC joinery made aligning the parts surprisingly easy. The real challenge wasn't the joints, it was handling assemblies this large by myself. That became especially obvious when installing the back panel. Moving assemblies of this size around a small workshop isn't always easy. Fortunately, everything fit together exactly as planned. And once the back panel was in place, the station finally started looking like the design I've been staring at on the computer for weeks. It's finally time to move the old miter saw station for what will hopefully be the last time and make space for the new one. Not gonna lie, it's a heavy one. Once the cabinet was in place, it immediately revealed a problem I hadn't anticipated. Matching the cabinet heights meant the workshop countertop also needed to line up perfectly. Otherwise, there would always be a visible gap between the two sections. At first, I thought a quick trim would solve the problem. But the longer I looked at it, the more obvious it became that this was the perfect opportunity to replace the countertop altogether. The white laminated plywood matched the new station much better, while also being more practical than the regular birch plywood surface. Sometimes finishing one upgrade makes another improvement impossible to ignore. Now the cabinets fit side by side, but before securing everything together, there are still a couple of more parts to install. One challenge unique to our workshop is the insulated wall ledge running around the perimeter. It prevents cabinets from sitting completely flush against the wall, so I had to design around it instead of fighting against it. Extending the rear cover lets it compensate for both the ledge and any imperfections in the wall, giving everything a much cleaner fit. Now comes the moment I've been waiting for. To find out whether the dust collection idea actually works, everything first has to be connected to the existing extraction system. I still wasn't completely sure which pipe routing would work best, and honestly, it's something that may continue evolving as the workshop changes in the future. Ideally, the airflow would be smoother, but the layout forced a few compromises that were difficult to avoid. Fortunately, other parts of the workshop already have similar bends without causing noticeable problems. At this point, there wasn't much left to do, except to see whether the entire concept actually worked. The door panels complete the stationary part of the miter saw station. And now we can focus on the center cabinet. This section solves a completely different problem. When cutting longer workpieces, surrounding surfaces quickly become covered with tools and materials. So the middle section needed to move instead of everything else around it. Making it mobile also leaves room for future flexibility, even if it rarely leaves the workshop. Because of that, simple DIY casters made much more sense than buying heavier commercial ones. Sometimes good enough really is the better design choice. When designing the extension supports, we had two goals. Keep them as simple as possible and make them easy to remove if the workshop ever changes again. The cabinet slides nicely into the stationery section, and while doing so, automatically lifts the dust collection trapdoor into position. Seeing that mechanism work for the first time was one of those small moments that turned out to be far more satisfying than I expected. One thing I definitely didn't want was the saw moving around while making cuts. The solution actually came from another project. The simple sliding latch I designed for the chisel box turned out to be exactly what this station needed as well. The center cabinet has two locking positions, allowing it to stay fixed whether it's fully closed or extended for longer workpieces. It's a tiny detail, but often those are improvements that makes the biggest difference during everyday use. After weeks of designing and building, everything now comes down to a simple question. Did the dust collection actually work? These old fence planks became the perfect test material. Normally, this would be exactly the type of job where I would roll the saw outside. This time though, the workshop itself becomes the test. As expected, the saw still throws chips backwards. The encouraging part is that most of them now land exactly where they were intended to. Not everything immediately reaches the extraction pipe, but instead of ending up scattered around the workshop, the remaining chips stay inside a hopper, where a quick brush sends them straight into the collector. It's not perfect, but it's a significant improvement, and one that should make using this station much more enjoyable every single time. Overall, I'm really happy with how the miter saw station turned out. It looks like it truly belongs in the workshop while adding more storage, better functionality, and making the whole space feel much more connected. The only thing I'm still not completely happy with is the gap between the door panels. Even though I follow the hinge manufacturer's recommendations, I would probably refine that detail in a future version. More importantly, the workshop has taken another step forward. Every improvement like this makes the next project just a little easier to build. And speaking of next project, the apartment renovation I took on this year has also left its mark on the workshop. So the next time we will see if we can turn these leftover plywood pieces into a storage shelf that helps organize all these items and gets the workshop back under control. Thank you for watching, stay creative, and I'll see you next time.